WHITEMAN, Coordinator of Sport, Mr. Colin Peters, club representatives, family, friends, all. I welcome you this morning to the first of 3 workshops organized by the Grenada Football Association as part of its development process for clubs.
Good morning, everyone. Special morning to President Joseph, our President of the GFA, and Mr. Colin Peters, Coordinator in the Ministry of Sports. Thank you for being here this morning. To you participants, welcome again, and it is my pleasure to see so many of you here this morning. I know we were expecting, the last count was, we were expecting around 26 clubs, so it means that a couple of them are late. So we pray that they get here in soon time so that they wouldn't miss much of the program today. This, for us, is an important activity this morning, and it is for us the foundation of what is to come. We would have concluded a strategic plan in 2019, July 2019, and we would have identified in all of our analysis, in all of our assessment and projections, the importance of clubs in the process of development of football here in Grenada, and the importance of building that carrying capacity within the clubs, because the club really and truly is the foundation. The clubs, together with the academies, together with the centers, schools, etc., is the foundation, and they basically initiate a lot of the preparatory work that goes into football as it emerges to the top nationally, regionally, internationally. So one of the weaknesses that would have been identified in our SWOT analysis was that clubs are weak entities and that GFA should focus on development of the clubs in order to take football to the next level. It is for this reason that we would have identified a pillar, one of the 5 pillars of the strategic plan, to be club development, and major focus and emphasis is to be put in the aspect of club development as we go forward. This is just the starting activity. This is just the first step. You can expect as we go on, the chairman would have indicated that this is one of 3 activities for the coming Saturdays. But following that, it doesn't mean the end of the club intervention process within the FA. It means that we will have to identify the needs of clubs. Clubs would have done for us an assessment when they applied for the club support program in 2019. We did a survey based on the requirements that CONCACAF would have sent us. And it would have signaled which clubs have strategic plans, which clubs have regular meetings, which clubs have statutes, which clubs have the basis for good and dynamic club development. And based on all of that, and based on all the findings of the assessment, and based on the pillars and projections and the strategies, we initiate this intervention here today, one of several to come, to ensure that within the time frame of our strategic plan, we have stronger clubs that would lead to stronger football, that would lead to more popular football and better football. So folks, I appreciate your presence, welcome, and I look forward to a very informative session with you here today. Thank you very much for coming.
President, good morning to Mr. Colin Peters, responsible for sports in the ministry, General Secretary Ken Whiteman. General Secretary Ken Whiteman, executive members present, I noticed one, Randy Campbell, presidents of clubs, president of the Central Conference, Ms. Bernadina Andrew, media participants, good morning. I promise to be brief, and very brief. One of the hallmark of a good organization is its members. And I say that in the context of if you have a good, strong, vibrant membership, it means the organization itself stands to grow and develop and to achieve most of its objectives, if not all. The same applies to the GFA. In order for the Grenada Football Association to grow to its desired path, it has to in some way have strong members. And when I say strong members, I mean the clubs. Often I hear the talk about the GFA has not been doing this and the GFA has not been doing that. And I get the impression that sometimes we forget the GFA is a compilation of clubs making the organization. I've often said in topics or discussions, like today, that the truth about any organization, including the GFA, is if we have vibrant clubs where they are functioning executive, where they are meeting with their membership, and they are representing the views of their membership, the GFA by extension will be a better organization. Very often, and it's a fact, we get what instead is the views and emotions of individuals. And that, in my opinion, does not lend to the success of our organization. A few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, the GFA established a new strategic plan. And that strategic plan set out to achieve certain things. And as the General Secretary just said, one of them was the development of clubs. I am challenging you who are here today, whether you are in the capacity as president of your club, or secretary, or some key member of your executive, to use today not just as an activity, but instead use it as a process which has just started. I urge you, if you can, to engage your members of your management team if you have not an official executive committee, and to commit to at least 2 or 3 objectives. One of the challenges I think we also have is sometimes we try to achieve too much, too quick. I'm accused of that, but I'm driven a lot by performance and results. However, if you can set about at least 2 or 3 objectives in the interim, and you get your members to buy into it, and then you engage your members, and you use certain key performance indicators to measure where you're going with those objectives, I think in a year's time, we recognize that the GFA will be stronger because the views expressed then will be those of the members through you, the leaders. I want to urge in closing each and every member here to set yourself one single goal, to become the best club in the GFA by 2021. And if each of you could set yourself that goal by becoming the best club, and I'm not just talking on the field of play, if you can set yourself a goal that by maybe December 2021, you can become the best functioning club in the GFA, you would obviously see a difference in the way a lot of things are done. I just want to wish each and every one of you best of luck in the next few hours. And I hope that whatever information is being passed on will be worthy information for you to go back to your clubs and practice. I thank you.
Well, this morning my expectation is broad, in the sense that I believe it is essential for the development of the sport that there be organizations, clubs, properly structured and organized, in the sense that if you have proper leadership and structure within the clubs, then that same structure can be passed on even to the field of play and then you'd have a development of the sport generally, because that is the medium, I believe, by which players could be identified, skills could be identified, skills could be harnessed, resources could be mobilized for the development of the sport. So a workshop today is essential so that all clubs can build capacity in such a way that the leadership of those clubs can know how to function to bring about the best in regards to the development of the clubs. So today my expectation for this workshop is that the information that will be disseminated through this workshop today is really going to help in terms of the leadership of clubs, so that as a result we are going to improve the sport and football is going to be better off for it in Grenada.